Hey, what the heck was that all about?
What is it, you stupid little brat?
You lied to me about how the date for the wedding had been changed, didn't you?
Ah, so you figured out that that was just a lie.
I knew it. So you really were trying to lie to me there. Why? Why would you lie to me about details like that?
Well, there were some things that came up and changed the current situation for me. And that led me to wanting you to stay away from my wedding is all.
Wanting me to stay away? What happened that would make you want me to stay away?
Well, come on now. Think about it yourself, would you? The wedding's going to be one of the most important days for Piper and me, and I'd rather you celebrate our wedding from afar, if you know what I mean.
What the heck? I can't believe that you try and keep the little sister of the bride away from her wedding. Do you have any idea how much effort I've helped put into this wedding for you two?
What are you going on about there, Riley?
Well, it's probably better that you don't know what I'm talking about now. But anyway, Piper has asked for me to be there at the wedding and not to miss a thing.
Is that so? Well, even if she wants you to be there, I don't. I don't want you there for the sake of Piper's and my future together.
I am her little sister. I am a part of Piper's family. I am going to make sure I'm there on the day of her wedding for her, whether you like it or not, all right? What are you trying to do, Damien? I can't believe you're taking things this far now.
What? You still haven't gotten out of here yet? I don't care how many times you try and message me in order to get me to talk. I have a lot on my plate at the moment. There are very important customers here for me, and I can't be slowed down by you. I told you to get out of here, so scram!
Why are you trying so dang hard to get me to leave this place, Damien?
I don't want someone with the looks of you coming into this place. This wedding is meant to be a place for celebration, not disgust.
And I came here today to celebrate you and my sister getting married, just like the rest of the guests.
I'm the groom here, and I want you gone.
Are you kidding me? I am Piper's little sister, for God's sake. Do you not realize how bad things could turn out for you if she found out how hard you're trying to get rid of me?
You're nothing to me! And you're going to be nothing to her as well, once this wedding happens. Do you really think I accept someone with a scar like that on her face as my little sister?
Wait, that's your reason for acting like that? You want me out of this wedding because of the scar on my face?
That's exactly right, Riley!
What the heck? How were you ever able to find a way to marry my sister of all people when you say things like that?
That's because she's madly in love with me! And that's the reason why today is a very, very special day for her and I. Do you think either of us really want you to be here, ruining the vibe at our wedding? With a hideous face like that?
So you just want me gone because you think I'm going to ruin your wedding with my looks?
Yep, that's right. I want you gone in order to safeguard my future with Piper.
No frickin' way.
Shut the hell up. I have a lot of things going on right now, and I do not need you here getting in my way any longer. Hurry the hell up and get lost. And once you're gone, don't you ever come back around your sister and me. I have a lot riding on my plate now, and don't need you here screwing it up.
A lot riding on your plate?
There's someone I'm waiting for. Someone very important to me that will decide the fate of my future. Someone who's very powerful in the world of music production. They're coming to this wedding today, as they happen to already know Piper. If I'm able to get on that producer's good side, then my dream of making it big won't be too far away anymore.
However, once anyone learns about the real person you're hiding under that mask, I don't think anyone will want you making it big.
The real person I am? I'm the perfect person, Riley! What about me am I hiding from others that would turn them off?
I'll tell you. You're the kind of person that thinks it's alright to do as they please. The kind of person that finds it completely alright to have me kicked out of my own sister's wedding just because of my looks. I cannot believe my sister is marrying a man like you.
You're just over-exaggerating things. I'm not doing any of this because I'm a bad person. Rather, I'm just trying to protect my future with your sister.
What future am I going to harm? I haven't done a single thing that would be harming your future with her. You literally were just over here kicking me to the ground and getting all my dress clothes dirtied. You've even gotten my hands scuffed up pretty badly by what you've done.
Ha! Who cares that you have a couple more cuts on your hands now? You already have that massive scar on your face, so nobody will notice a thing. Ha ha!
This is unbelievable. You have no right talking about me like that, Damien. I really should have made sure to meet with you before all this started. Then I would have had time to stop this wedding and make sure that you never got married to my sister.
Ha! Well, it's too late for that now. See ya!
The wedding will be starting at 11 a.m., okay? I'm sure you're already here, though, right? Yeah, I'm here. I was thinking of having small cheers before things kicked off, so perhaps you can start making your way over to me. All right, I'll be over to you in a little bit. Don't be late, all right? I want you to be here to join the cheers, and then after that, be ready to watch the whole wedding. I also want to show off my wedding dress to you. I'll be there for all of that, I promise. But why do you want me seeing everything? Well, that's because I care about you a lot, Riley. I feel as though you deserve to be around me on my biggest day so that I can show you how much I care about you, like you've cared for me. You're still going on about things like that? But I should. We don't have to talk about things from the past anymore, Piper, okay? This is supposed to be your big day, and I want you to be focused on that more than me. I know. But I want you to be here to see my dress before the rest of the guests do. I want you to see that this time I'll be all right. Then you can stop worrying about me for good and get back to focusing on your own life. Thank you for that. I didn't think you were that worried about my situation. But no matter how much you try and show me you're okay, I'm going to be thinking about you. You're my family, after all, and that's what we do for our family. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I'm going to continue doing everything in my power to make sure you're the happiest you can be. Well, you might want to know that I do a lot of this for another reason as well. To make up for some of the past where I may have hurt you more than a little sister should. I hope you understand that as well, and know that I want to make everything right between us. Yeah, of course I know that. I'm the one that's relying on you now, so I promise that everything you do won't make me upset or hurt. And I promise that everything you're doing is truly making things right for us. Thank you, Piper. You've made me feel a lot more confident about what needs to be done next, then. What? What are you talking about? I have just a few more things to do, and then I'll be over there to see you before the cheers. Then we can talk. You'd better stop all your crap, because I'm coming back in.
No way! I was just about to go and tell Piper that you'd gone back home and wouldn't be here for the wedding.
She's not going to believe any of that to be true, though. I was just asked by her to hurry things up and go see her in a few minutes.
That woman is madly in love with me.
What?
I think that song I sung for her ensnared her in my line, and I'm going to reel her in by the end of the day without her ever getting off it. That's the reason why she's always been following me around, Riley. She can't get away. She doesn't want to get away. And that's just what I want from her as well. She's very convenient to me, so I need to make sure she's always at my side and on my side.
Convenient?
She listens to everything I tell her, and she never does anything crazy when it comes to being my partner, so I'm not going to lose any of my fans over her. She's the perfect woman for me to be with, and I'm not letting her go. And you want to know what makes her the best woman of all? The most convenient woman of all? When I told her I wanted this wedding, she went right ahead and did every single thing for me in terms of getting it prepared. And the best part of all, I didn't have to pay a single dime. This is all amazing for me.
I see. So that's what she is to you.
And to top things all off, she happens to have friends in the music business. Honestly, I have to say that she's the perfect tool for me to use. So until I've made it big in the music world, she's going to stay at my side.
What is all of this, Damien? Acting like you can just use her like that?
Once I've become a star, I won't have any use for her anymore. I'll make sure to get rid of her then, and you can have her back as your sister. I wouldn't want her to be left on the streets after I'm done with her. Littering is bad for the environment, so would you please make sure to be there to dispose of her properly?
I really don't know what else to say about any of that.
And that's totally okay with me. You staying quiet really helps me stay focused. I have a lot of things going on in my life, and you being around me yapping all the time is not going to help. So, get any final words off your chest now if you have any. My time for you is dwindling!
So has the person you've been waiting for come yet?
Nope, not yet. I'm sure they're far more busy than I am right now. They might not make it here until after the wedding has already started.
What will you do if that's the case?
I'll just have the wedding put on hold and wait until they arrive. I can't have the wedding start before that famous music producer has arrived.
So you are really looking to get on that producer's good side then?
Well, of course I am! To me, that producer is one of the few people in my life that can change my life for the better.
I see. Well, luckily there is still some time before the wedding gets underway, right?
That's right. But what does any of that matter to you? This wedding, and whatever else goes on here, has nothing to do with you. And once it's over, you won't have anything to do with your sister and I. I'm going to tell your sister that she and I are cutting ties with you for good! Ha 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 ha!
Go right ahead and tell her that. I really do plan on things after the wedding being completely and utterly over between us.
What's all that about? Are you finally coming around to see that we don't want you around us? I'm being serious when I say that I don't want your butt around us ever again!
Well, we'll just have to see how things play out then today. You might end up taking those words back. The wedding still isn't started yet, right?
You're still going on about things like that? I'm sure you can tell by the time that it's not quite started yet.
Really? Well, if it hasn't quite started yet, then there's still time. Also, this is going to be the last time I bother you.
What's going on with you? You're not going to be allowed to see this wedding, you freak!
I'm not talking about coming to see your wedding. To you, today is supposed to be that huge turning point in your life, right?
That's right! I'm sure you understand that after all the times I've had to explain that to you now.
But before that's able to happen for you, there is something that must be done.
What do you mean? Something else needs to be done?
You're going to need to be taken into custody by the police.
The police?! What the hell are you going on about now?
Well, I was kicked to the ground today by a man, right? And I ended up getting hurt in the process of it. That makes for a pretty good case when it comes to both the police and the court. So I've made sure to have them get involved as soon as possible, and that also means you having to be taken away by the police.
What are you talking about? All I did was push you a little, and you fell to the ground softly, right?
You think that's all you did to me, Damien? You kicking me to the ground like that resulted in me getting injured. I don't think your bullcrap reasoning for it is going to fly with the police or in court either.
Hold on. You're getting way too far ahead of yourself right now. I have a lot going on today, and this wedding is one of the most important moments in my life. You can't just take this moment away from me!
I don't care about your important moments. I'm going to get in touch with a lawyer over what's happened to me today, and then I'll make sure that the next place I'm seeing you is in the courthouse. As of right now, though, I'm going to be reporting what's happened to the police. Do you want to tell them about what you have to say? How right now is an important moment in your life, so they can't take you away for assaulting me? Maybe they will actually listen to you and let you go. Tell them that today is your turning point and that it is not to be messed with by anyone, which is very much true. Today is a major turning point in your life, but not for the better.
Who do you think is even going to believe what you tell them about us?
What was that? My hands and arms are covered in scrapes right now, so I'm pretty sure it's not hard to prove what happened.
I think it will be, though. Everyone is going to think that you just fell down and got all those scrapes. You are a clumsy idiot, after all.
This doesn't have to do with me being clumsy to people or not. All I have to do is say that I was kicked to the ground by you, and the police will have to take action.
But nobody's going to believe such a weak claim as that. So just shut the hell up and leave me alone. All you're going to do by telling the police is damaging yourself even more.
Well, to be honest, I'm totally fine with them not believing me.
Huh? Then why were you making such a big deal about it just then? What's going on with you?
I just need for the police to look into what happened a little is all.
Why do you want that?
Well, because at the front of the reception hall where you kicked me to the ground, there's a security camera. When they have a look at the recording on it, they will find out that I am not lying at all and come deal with you. Which I'm sure will happen.
What?
So I'm sorry to say, but this is it for your turning point being anything other than bad. Also, you might want to kiss goodbye to your chances of getting married to my sister. You can think up a new plan for yourself becoming a star while sitting over at the county jail for a little while.
Wait. Are you really going to take all of this to the police?
I already said that I would. Why would I lie about doing something like that to you? I'm about to get on the phone with them right now, so would you please stop texting me?
But if you do something like that...
Then you'll be taken into custody, right?
And if that happens, I won't be able to have my wedding to Piper!
Well, of course not. The wedding will be canceled by that point.
Do you think doing something like that to us is okay, though?
I have no other choice now. I was attacked by the groom of that wedding.
But your sister will be affected by all of this as well! Piper won't be able to get wed to me!
That's right. She's a very important member of my family, so this is all for the best.
Well, what about me? Aren't I a part of your family too?
No, you are not. Just a while ago, you were going on about how you don't want to think of me as your little sister, right?
That was just me being I wasn't thinking at the time.
So what? You think I'm just going to forgive you for not thinking? Because you've been doing it all day now, and I'm starting to think you might not have a brain in that head whatsoever.
Do you have any idea how much your sister has been looking forward to this wedding, though?
Oh, I do. I've been talking with her about it leading up to today.
Well then, what the hell are you thinking trying to ruin this wedding for her?
You think you have the right to be saying things like that to me when you're the type of person that can just kick someone to the ground over how they look?
You're her little sister, so don't do something that's going to make her sad!
The only thing that will make her sad is being married to a loser like you.
Don't you say something like that to me! You're just talking from your own ego now!
All right, then. I can see that us talking about this right now isn't going to get anywhere. How about you try talking with my sister and seeing what she thinks about this?
Sure thing! I'll go let her know about what you're trying to do. But let me tell you, she's not going to be favoring you any, because she's already too far on my side. And she's not going to listen to a thing you try and say.
And if that's how things turn out, then I guess there was no helping her.
Hey, Tiffany, are you there? I just wanted to make sure that you were ready for the wedding. You do know that you have to follow the plan exactly how I laid it out for you, right? I don't want to see even a single misstep from you. I mean it. If anything goes wrong at the wedding, it is all going to be on you, understand?
Carmen, please. As my mother-in-law, I'm asking to please just let me not go to the wedding. I mean, I'm not even any kind of wedding planner. You just came up to me one day and started listing off things you'd like to see at the wedding.
Well, what is even the point of having you around if you can't do something as simple as plan a wedding? Maybe if you talked less and listened more, you wouldn't be having this problem. Now, I told you exactly how I wanted this wedding to go. It is your job to make sure that that dream comes true and that it's perfect down to the last detail.
Carmen, I get that you want all this, but it's Lucy's wedding, and she hasn't mentioned anything about this to me.
Oh, so you're saying that you don't care if you totally ruin Lucy's wedding, all because she didn't tell you what she wanted?
Of course that's not what I'm saying. But I am literally 8 months pregnant. I am pretty much ready to pop. If anything happens, if I were to end up having this baby early, I wouldn't be able to help at all. Besides, I really would like to be able to concentrate more on this as it is my first child. And with all that in mind, I just really don't think that I should be at Lucy's wedding at all.
You really are such a worrywart. Do you know that? What does any of this wedding business have to do with your baby? Take it from me, someone who has had kids and raised them too. You need to be keeping your body fit while you're pregnant. Or at least give yourself something to do and concentrate on. That's why you have to make sure Lucy's wedding is perfect. And if I hear even a single grumble or gripe from any of the guests, you will be hearing about it.
So you're really just going to use me to do all this hard work that you don't do?
What else is a daughter-in-law for? I'm the mother-in-law, and that means that what I say goes, got it?
Please, Carmen, I'll give you some money to help pay for the preparations if you'll just let me rest and focus on the baby.
You really are just pathetic, do you know that? You are going to be there at the wedding, and that is that. You useless, stupid woman. How could you miss Lucy's wedding? What is the matter with you? Do you know how embarrassing it was for me to have to explain why you weren't there?
I already told you about this, Carmen. I'm going to be giving birth any day now, and I wasn't going to the wedding in the first place.
Well, I know you said that, but I didn't think that you actually meant it. But whatever, I suppose there really is no going back on any of this now.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
Well, I mean that if you're really going to miss my daughter's wedding, all because of your pregnancy, then I just really don't think that I have any more use for you. And that's why I was sent off the divorce papers for you and my son. Now I want you to pack your bags and leave this house right now.
You mean you really submitted the paperwork for Tom and I to get a divorce?
That's right. What else do you think I meant by that? But you only have yourself to blame. I have no idea what my son was thinking about getting with you.
I don't believe it. How could you do this? Well, whatever. I'll just go to the courthouse tomorrow and explain the mistake to them.
It's too late. Those papers have already been long processed. There's nothing you can do about this now.
Well, I am just going to see about that, because I don't remember putting my signature on any kind of divorce papers.
I tried to warn you. I told you time and time again not to miss that wedding, didn't I? But thanks to you, I was the one left in charge of things. And let's just say the wedding was not what I had pictured when I gave you my specifications. But I guess it worked for what it was.
I don't get it, Carmen. Do you really not care at all what happens to your grandchild that I'm carrying right now?
Of course I'm not worried. What could possibly happen? You watch way too many soap operas, but until you learn to behave yourself, you are banned from this house. Now pack up your bags and never ever come back here again. If you'll excuse me, I have some dinner plans to attend, but I want you out of the house before I get back.
Hey, Tiffany. How's it going? I'm just about to head back home. Just let me know if you want me to pick up anything on my way back.
Thanks so much for asking after me, Owen. But aren't you going to that dinner with your wife?
What? That thing? Nah, I wasn't going to go to that. Besides, an after party for a wedding really isn't for parents to be going to.
Oh, really? But Carmen told me that she was going to be going. That's why I thought you were too.
Yeah, well, I guess she had something upsetting her about the wedding today. She said she was going to go and try and brighten her mood. But we'll see how that goes when she's surrounded by women half her age.
Oh, I see. Well, I just want to let you know that I'm sorry I missed the wedding today.
That's okay. You have nothing to apologize for.
I just think that I'm the reason why Carmen is so upset, because I didn't go to the wedding.
I don't understand. Did my wife say something to you that made you think that?
Yeah, she told me that I was an awful person for missing the wedding, and that she wanted me to move out.
She really said that to you? I am so sorry about that, Tiffany.
No, You don't have anything to apologize for either. It's not like any of this was your fault either.
I know. But what was she thinking acting like that? I mean, can't she see that you're pregnant? You've got more important things to worry about. But, did she do something else? Are you okay?
Well, actually, she told me that she submitted the divorce papers for Tom and I.
You've got to be kidding me. Why in the world would she do that?
I was going to try and go to the courthouse to fix this mistake, but your wife said it was already too late.
I had no idea this was going on. But I'll try talking to Carmen to get to the bottom of this.
You really have some nerve, do you know that? I know that you went and cried to my husband last night. It's all your fault that he's mad at me now. You really should know better than to mess with your mother-in-law. You think I'm just going to lie here and let you get away with this? I'll teach you a harsh lesson about what you've done.
I don't get it. What did I even do? You're the one throwing me out of the house while I'm so pregnant. Do you really not see at all how you're being bad here too?
I don't really care at all what you think about this situation. The point is that I'm your mother-in-law and you have a duty to do as I say.
Oh, come on. You can't really believe that, right? You're just saying that so you can make me do the work you don't want to. But try and think about the baby that I'm carrying. You're literally kicking me out of the house. You went and filed for me to divorce your son. You're completely out of control right now. You realize this is my first kid, right? I already had enough to worry about without you acting like this. So can you please just leave me alone already?
You really are such a crybaby. Why in the world do you think you got to live in the house? It's because you belong to me, just like the house. You are nothing but an object to me, and if you won't do as I say, then I don't need you.
So you really just don't care at all what happens to me then, is that it?
I care about you doing what I want when I want. Do that for me and I might even start to like you. But if you're just going to talk back and disobey me, then this is the kind of treatment you can expect from me.
Okay, fine then. Be that way. If you really want to play this way, then that's just fine.
Oh no, I'm so scared. Whatever will a nobody like you do to me?
You have no idea how scared you really should be, but I hope you're ready for what I have in store for you.
Oh, of course. I'm just shivering right now thinking about whatever terrible thing it is you have in mind. So why don't you go ahead and give me your best shot, huh? Hey, Owen, are you there? I can't seem to get into the house. What's going on? Why isn't my key working? Did you change the locks or something? Wait a second. This is probably all that damn Tiffany's fault, isn't it?
No, Carmen. Tiffany has nothing to do with this at all.
What do you mean? Then what's going on?
I'm afraid that all of this was by my own doing. I had the locks changed while you were away. You're not going to be able to get into any of those doors with the keys that you have on you now.
I don't understand, though. Why would you do something like this to me? How am I supposed to get inside now? And don't think I don't know this isn't all about that little Miss Uppity who I ran out of the house. Are you really going to choose her over your own wife?
Yes. Tiffany told me all about how you wanted to kick her out of our house.
And so what? Who cares what I want to do to her?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that Tiffany isn't going to be the only one moving out. We're moving out too.
I don't get what you're trying to say. This is our home. Why would you leave? Why would you all take Tiffany's side like this?
Look, Carmen, I know the house is yours. I'm not going to fight you on that.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking you questions that you're not answering.
And I'm telling you what you need to know. You can have the house. You were the one that wanted to place this huge anyways. Beautiful exterior, a huge backyard that hardly ever gets used, peeling paint on the long empty halls. You insisted on such an expensive house, and I've done nothing to take care of it at all.
But wait, if you all leave, then that means I'll be left to pay for the rest of the mortgage.
You're not letting me finish here. The house is already paid off, and the one who did it is Tiffany's father.
You can't be serious about that, right?
No. When she moved in here, he offered to pay off the house since she'd be living with us. He spoke to me about it, and so I transferred the mortgage to his name so that he could pay it off. So while the house may be yours in spirit, legally speaking, it belongs to Tiffany's family.
But why wasn't I informed about any of this at all? How could you just choose to do something that huge and important without telling me first?
I tried to bring it up and mention it to you, but you weren't listening to me at all. But anyways, Tiffany knows all of this, and she knows that you don't have a right to throw her out. So when I meant that we were moving out, I meant you and I.
That can't be right. She wasn't even there for our daughter's wedding, and you're going to give her the house? We should sue her. She can't kick us out of here.
Carmen, the house isn't ours. We don't have a claim to it. If we were sued, the case would be thrown out right away.
No, that can't be right. You don't really mean that.
You know, Tiffany didn't have to let us keep living there after her dad paid the house off. She was doing it out of the kindness of her heart.
And now she's using that kindness to try and throw us out of our own home?
Carmen, do you really think you have any right to be this mad right now? I mean, do you really not know why she's acting like this?
Are you really asking me if I have any idea why she's stabbing her family in the back like this? No, I guess I don't.
Well then, I just don't know what to say. But you should know that Tiffany has been nice enough to get us a hotel room for a few days. Maybe you should go and apologize to her, because things aren't going to look great for you if you don't.
You have got to be kidding me. You can't really expect me to apologize to a woman like that. Owen, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm getting rather sick of living in this hotel and would love to come back home if that's okay with you. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind talking to Tiffany and asking if we can't go back to living in our home.
I already told you, Carmen. If you want to fix this, you're the one that's going to have to go and talk to Tiffany. And then, it's up to Tiffany whether or not she wants to forgive you for what she's done.
Oh, come on. She's still young. She has her life ahead of her, and she's going to hang on to a grudge like this? Don't you see that you've been tricked by her? That's why you're taking her side. You don't realize what you're doing.
Okay. Now you just are being ridiculous, Carmen. I'm not being tricked, and I'm well aware of what I'm doing. None of this is Tiffany's fault at all. Do you understand?
Of course it's all her fault. If it's not her fault, then whose else's fault could it possibly be?
You mean to tell me that you still don't get it? How have you gone this far without blaming yourself for any of this? You're always just trying to say that you're right when you're the problem. You're doing it now. You did it at the wedding. You do it all the time. You're always ignoring whatever Tiffany says to you and trying to give her more orders instead. And now, you've dried up her patience, when she was the one doing kind things for us, and here we are. You're the reason we've lost the house. But why do you care, when it was a house we could barely afford and that you didn't take care of? Instead, you insisted that we buy it, have us up to our necks in debt, and still lost the house in the end.
Man, you're such a crybaby. Do you know that? I didn't realize I married a toddler.
So you're really just going to blow everything I just said off? You're the problem here. You aren't living in the real world. You're only interested in yourself, and you don't care about who you hurt to get what you want. I mean, you were literally trying to make your daughter-in-law work when she could be having your grandchild any day now. You do realize she's pregnant with our grandchild, don't you? Why would you try and put her under so much stress and work her like that?
What is this? What do you know about being pregnant? I was working just as hard as I ever was that day I had our first child.
You really are just delusional. I don't even know what else I can say to you but this. It wasn't Tiffany who should have gotten the divorce. It was us. That much is obvious to me now.
You don't really mean that, do you, Owen?
I'm afraid I do. No matter what I try, you just refuse to listen to anyone but yourself. And I don't want to be attached to you and responsible for you when you go out acting like this. I can't be married to a criminal.
A criminal? Did you really just call me that? And what crime could I have possibly done?
You mean you still haven't figured it out? You do realize that forging signatures on divorce paperwork is illegal, don't you? You committed fraud when you signed those papers for Tiffany and our son. And you committed fraud when you had those papers processed in their names too. I heard that Tiffany's already gone to the police about it too.
There you go. She isn't really part of this family if this is the way that she chooses to act toward her family. Can't you see that she's just heartless?
The only heartless one I can see here is you. But that's exactly why I want the divorce. So that I don't have to be family with you anymore. I'll talk to you when I've gotten all the paperwork ready. Then you can finally sign divorce papers with your own name. What do you think of that?
Please don't do this too. You're not thinking straight, Owen. You're not really going to leave me over this, are you? Owen, answer your messages right now. I'm trying to talk to you. This is all your fault. If you had just been at the wedding like I asked you to be, then none of this would have happened. But now my husband is leaving me and it's all your fault.
I really have no idea what you think you're doing messaging me right now. I've already said all that I have to say to you. What do you think we're going to accomplish doing this?
You think the whole world needed to bend over backwards for you just because you're pregnant? I was just asking for a little help. Just a hand in dealing with the wedding, and apparently even that was too big of an ask for you.
You weren't asking for a little help. You were trying to make me plan a whole wedding all by myself. Do you have any idea how my mother died? She was pregnant with my little sister. She died and the doctors were barely able to save my little sister. She was born weeks premature. I was so scared with all the stress and work you were putting me under that the same thing might happen to me. And no matter how many times I told you I couldn't do it or needed help, you refused to listen to me. Instead, you insisted that everything be done your way with no regard for the well-being or of myself or my baby. I don't even know if now you're aware of the damage that you could have done with your recklessness. But I never, ever want to live with you ever again.
Well, you should have talked to me about this. I had no idea this was all going through your head. But instead, you just had to announce that you weren't going to the wedding with no further explanation.
I did explain all of this to you, Carmen. I explained it to you over and over again, and you just didn't listen. If not, this just proves that my words went in one ear and straight out the other for you. You never cared about anything or anyone other than yourself.
You don't honestly think that, do you? You have to know that of course I would have taken your side if you had just explained things to me. Do you have any idea how hard it was for me to break you and my son up despite knowing how much money you got from your late father?
Oh, I know that. Just who do you think paid for your own daughter's wedding? It certainly wasn't you. Owen came to me and told me that you two couldn't afford even the most humble of weddings because of the debt that you had gotten yourselves into. He came to me, hat in hand, and asked if I wouldn't mind helping to fund the wedding.
But you can't be serious. I didn't have any idea about this.
Well, now you do. Your daughter's wedding, your own house, it's all thanks to me and my family that you had either. But then you just had to go off and act the way that you did. And now that everything is falling apart around you, you're just looking for someone to blame. If you want your house back, you can have it. But you'll have to pay me back for what my dad paid.
I don't have that kind of money. Do you really expect a lady at my age to go back to work?
I don't expect you to do anything. After all, you couldn't even really afford to live in this house anyway.
Well, look, if it's money you want, then you should go to my husband for the house and my daughter for the wedding.
You just don't get it. But you'll get what's coming to you soon enough. After that, Owen contacted Carmen about their divorce. He had gotten the divorce papers, signed his half of them, and told her that she had only to sign her half and it could all be finally over. Of course, at the same time that was going on, I was also suing Carmen for her falsified divorce papers. The lawyer that Carmen had hired to try and handle all of these sudden cases advised her to fold on every single one. He told her she didn't have a legal leg to stand on and that it would be cheaper and easier for her to accept the divorce and losses. Carmen pled guilty to forging the signatures and was slapped with a heavy fine to pay me. Carmen was pushed deeper and deeper into a debt that there was no way she was ever going to be able to dig herself out of. I hear that now she lives in a tiny apartment all by herself, working multiple part-time jobs just to make ends meet. As for me, after my lawsuit with Carmen, my marriage status was restored, and about a week after that, I finally gave birth to my child. Once I had dealt with Carmen, it was like a weight had suddenly been lifted off my shoulders. The final week of my pregnancy was a breeze without all the stress that I had been dealing with before. Even the birthing process went so much smoother than I thought it would. It was like I was able to enter a totally peaceful mind state in the euphoria of being freed from Carmen. I still keep in contact with Owen, and he was so happy to finally meet his new grandson. We avoid the topic of Carmen usually, but there is always something else to talk about. In the end, I am just glad that I have a true family around me. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.